Good morning. Welcome to our Thursday morning. Riding here with Tag. Everyone getting on your bikes, turning your pedals over nice and easy. Our first 5 minutes, we get a full 5 minutes here at our easy pace, warming up our legs to go with the gorgeous morning outside. In and around your 80 to 110 watts, 90 to 105 RPMs. Just moving the blood around, bringing some heat into your legs, flushing a little lactic acid. Settling in. We've got an awesome aerobic workout ahead of us. 2 parts to it, which we'll get into a little bit later. We've got aerobic power and then aerobic capacity. So we're going to figure out how to push ourselves in 2 different ways and hopefully make sure you never get left behind a group. You can always catch on to the back. But for now, we'll just have our little morning coffee warm up, making sure you're set up in your space, fans on, windows open, doors open, nice bottle of something water, electrolyte-ish. All right, good to see everyone. Nice big group. Being that we are into our first really nice spring weekend ahead, I think, where our morning temperatures are actually not close to 0. Might see a few more cyclists heading up the mountains, beginning their peak at what the Everesting challenges are, coming up in the later part of the spring, early summer, or just for the views, which will be spectacular today. So still in that 30% range. Moving your cadence up towards 100 if you're not there already. We're spending much of today in this preferred cadence range, 90 to 100. So we want to make sure our legs are moving efficiently this morning. Another 2 minutes, we'll get into our structured workout. Quick scan of the body. Nice loose elbows, athletic position on your bike. Not a lot of weight on your hands. Nice open front body so you can breathe efficiently. Gentle engagement of your power center so you can direct all your energy down through your quads and hamstrings and calves and glutes. So today, we're doing quite a bit of work with our perceived effort, which means we're going to do a little bit of covering up of our screens and go by feel. And we're going to begin testing that with the first part of our structured warm-up here, coming up in just under a minute. So for the first 8 minutes or so of this warm-up, we're going to cover our screens, finding a cadence of somewhere between 90 and 100, your preferred cadence in that range. And we're going to move through at 2-minute intervals from approximately our 5 out of 10, 50%, moving up by about 10% each time until we get to our 8 out of 10 or around your 85%. So to give you a little head start, you bring in your 50% right now in that preferred cadence range.
How's that? worry. That's it for a tiny second.
So now that you've found that gear and your preferred cadence, let's cover our screens. We're going to keep them covered for the next 8 minutes, especially if you've got power or a way to do that. We're here for another 1.5 minutes at this level, and then just by feel, we're going to move our gears up until we get to that 85%. So now we set our gear at 50%. We know how this feels. This is still pretty easy. Definitely on the low end of your efficiency. You can talk all day. But it's just a little bit of pressure under the pedals from where we just came from. Another minute here, just settling in. We'll see how we do with this perceived effort this morning. It's definitely a little easier when the air around us is warmer, as opposed to hopping on and doing this when it's still 0 degrees out. So depending on your trainer, your smart trainer, or if you're on your regular bike, we're going to be moving up to our 6 out of 10, 60% in just over 10 seconds. So thinking about where that's going to be. In 3, 2, 1. Bring in a little more gear. And we're here for 2 minutes. So this should feel still pretty manageable. You can still talk in full sentences. This is perhaps your all-day pace, riding around on a pretty good group ride. And trying to maintain that nice leg turnover. So one thing I'm going to say about today's workout, today's training session, is that we're going to be testing our mental strength quite a bit as we've got some longer segments pushing at high output. So this is a good time to either put your music on or think about actually being out on the road and just getting inside your head and figuring out what your motivational words are as we push through, and looking at what your goal might be in that situation. 20 more seconds here. We're going to move up to our 7 out of 10. Still keeping that leg turnover in the 90 to 100 range. Three, 2, 1. Bring it up. Another 10%. You're at your 7 out of 10, which will be somewhere between your 70 and 75%. Definitely feeling a little more pressure on the pedals. Now thinking about turning your circles. Think about what your feet are doing down there, pulling through the bottom, pulling up around the back, and up over the top. Engaging those hamstrings and hip flexors, calves, and of course your big quads on the push down. Steadily breathing. We're a minute in. practice your drinking throughout. Again, that's another system we're training. While the blood's flowing to our muscles, we still need to be able to take in some hydration. And for longer efforts, you'll be needing to take in some fuel. All right, 25 more seconds. Then we go up to our final piece. We're going to be moving up to our 8 out of 10, or close to your 80 to 85%. In 3, 2, 1. Bring it up. In 20 seconds, we'll uncover our screens and ride out the last minute and a half, seeing where our gear ended up, and then bringing it into that 85% if we're not there. First real effort here. We're right into it. Uncover your screen. Adjust your gear to that 85% if you're not there already. Some people will have overshot that, others a little under. That's why we do this. A lot of people do not ride with power outside, so knowing what this feels like is important. 1 more minute. Cadence still between 90 and 100. You're at your 85%. Stay relaxed. Any tension in your body takes energy away from the work you want to do. Come on, stay with it. This is the top end of our warm-up today, but we will be here a lot later on. Stay with it right through. And bring it off. Easy gear, back to that starting easy. We have a 2-minute transition to the next piece of our warm-up. Bringing some gear off, bringing that cadence back up. Flush out that first bit of pressure. Settle your heart rate down. Probably back down to that, whatever that zone 2, zone 3 range is for you. Probably in that 140 to 155 range, depending on your top end. The next part of our warm-up, again working on our pedal stroke efficiency, is single leg drills. Everyone's favorite, but it's very important when we're getting on to these longer, harder efforts to really focus on our pedal stroke. Efficiency on your pedal stroke equals watts gained. So we're going to do a couple of sets through, 30 seconds on each side with 30 seconds in between, and then 1 minute on each side with 30 seconds in between. So we get a nice space in between working both sides. I want you to find a gear right now that will be your gear for your single leg drills, something that you can feel the circle completely, but it's not so hard that you can't maintain your cadence. So let's find that gearing. We're going to take our left leg out in 3, 2, 1. 30 seconds here. Adjust your gear as needed. right now. Cadence will be somewhere likely between 70 and 90. Your power is probably close to that 30%, maybe even a little bit less. Somewhere between 80 and 110 most likely, maybe closer down to the 80. And both legs back on. Catching our breath. Smooth circles. And right leg out in 3, 2, 1. Oh, I have a very sticky pedal. Another 20 seconds. Looking forward. Having low pressure on your hands. We'll play around with our weight on our hands in the next set. And both feet back on. Our next set is going to be a minute on each side. So if you found that gear getting a little too hard by the end of the 30 seconds, adjust it down a little bit. We want to be able to maintain this for the full minute. Again, beginning with the left leg out in 3, 2, 1. So now I want you to engage your core and lift up your right hand. Nice and forward, over the bars. Keeping nice square shoulders, nice square hips. We're engaging that core. And right hand down. Now left hand up. This side is a little more challenging than the other. But we are trying to maintain square shoulders, square hips, forward facing belly button. And both feet back on. And we'll repeat that again on the other side. And right leg out. Looking straight forward. We want to be relaxed up here. We don't want to have a ton of pressure on our handlebars. We want to make sure, even if we've got one foot off, that we're turning that full circle, and that is best done when we're centered over our saddle. So let's take your left hand off, putting it up front. And back down, and right hand off, noticing how we shift our bodies to compensate for that. You might be feeling that on the outside of your left shin at the moment. And back down. And both feet back on. That definitely challenges our balance on the bike and isolates the differences between our left and our right. So we're going to take about another 3.5 minutes here before we get into our maybe 4 minutes or so, the beginning of our main set. We've got some super awesome work ahead. We're going to begin with our aerobic power portion, which will be 6 times through, 30 seconds at your MAP, your maximum aerobic power, at 100 RPM, and 1 minute moving down to your 70 to 75% at 90 RPM. So we're not resting in between. We're touching on this system building that aerobic power base. This is not like doing a Tabata workout or a HIIT workout where you're on and off. We are on, and then on. So another 3.5 minutes before we get going. So make sure you are set up. This is going to be a 9-minute straight through set. Challenging, definitely challenging. For those of you who have been participating in some of the Everesting trainings, whether you're doing it or not, we've been focusing the last couple of weeks on low RPMs, high power output, a lot of standing. So this is at the other end of the spectrum. Have to train it all. So nice and easy here. Checking in. When we're doing this set, especially as we're coming off of our MAP at 100 RPM and getting back to our 70 to 75%, to stay on that 70 to 75%, or to launch back up to your MAP, feel free to stand to get on top of it. You're gonna do what you need to do to make sure we stay in those ranges. RPMs are very important here. So we want to be up at that 100 during the MAP, and we want to come down to no lower than 90 RPM for the 70 to 75%. After the first time through, you should be able to just come back and forth to the gearing. And since we are going 6 times through, if you want to come back to 70% for the first couple and then move it up towards 75 over the second half, that will be your negative split. Just over 1.5 minutes and we'll be underway. So finding your 100 RPM right now, if you're not there already, I'm going to move us slowly towards the start line here with 1 minute to go. Let's find your 50% at 100 RPM. So you're bringing in a bit of gear. We begin this set right at that MAP. We're going to bring the gear up, ease ourselves up to that MAP number over the first 5 to 10 seconds, and hold for the rest. Let's find 60% still at 100 RPM. We're moving on in about 15 seconds. Make sure you've got that 100 RPM. And 3, 2, 1. MAP, 30 seconds. Let's roll up that number. We're 10 seconds in. Should all be at your MAP. Hold on. Keeping that cadence nice and high. Come on. First time through. This is the hardest. 3, 2, 1. Back to 70%. 90 RPM. You're slowing the legs down a tiny bit, taking off a bit of gear. This is the work. This is the hard part. Make note where your gearing is. And catch your breath. We're on in 20 seconds for number 2. Settling in, relaxed, athletic position. 3, 2, 1, up, up, 100 RPM, MAP. This is number 2. Bring it up. That's 10 seconds in. Come on, hold on. Stay with it. Right through. 3, 2, 1. Back to your 70 to 75. 90 to 100 RPM. Go lower than 90. Just that little bit off. Stay with it. This is a punchy group with a lot of punchy little hills, but there's no descent and no descent in the ranks. 20 seconds, we're back on for number 3. Thinking about this, you want to be there in that first 10 seconds and hold on. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, up, up. Let's bring it. Push right through. Get up off the saddle if you need to. Hands in the drops if you want. Looking forward. Come on, keep it up. Keep those legs moving. Three, 2, 1. 70%, 90 plus RPM, 70 to 75%. If you're feeling pretty good after number 3, you can move that up to your 75. Couple of deep breaths. Settle down. Nice work. Nice and smooth. Thinking about those single-legged drills. We're pulling these circles right around. We're back on in 10 seconds for number 4. More than halfway. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Up, up. Let's go. MAP. 100 RPM. Push it around. You're more than 10 seconds in. Keep moving. Come on. You're almost there. 3, 2, 1. Back to 70 to 75%. 90 plus RPM. 2 to go. Get to that number here as efficiently as you can. That little bit of time to get in the draft perhaps, or flatten the grade in the road. Stay with it. "15 more seconds. You're doing great. Aerobic power. Power, power. Maximum aerobic power. In 3, 2, 1. Back up. Let's go. Bring it right up. 100 RPM. MAP, 10 seconds in. 30 seconds goes by fast. Stay on top. Come on. Reach for it. 3, 2, 1. Back to 70%, 70, 75. Find that breath. Find that little bit of ease on the pedals. Moving fast and forward. "30 more seconds here." Then we have one more MAP, one more 1-minute recovery here, and then we're off for a bit of a break. Fastest 9 minutes of your life. 15 seconds. See if you can touch over your MAP for this last one and get back down to 75%. 3, 2, 1. Up you go. 30 seconds. MAP plus. Here we go. Right up. Keeping that leg speed high. 10 more seconds. Right through. 3, 2, 1. Back to 75%. 90 plus RPM. One more minute. Hang on. Pushing, pulling, pushing, pulling. Pushing down the front of the pedal stroke. Pulling through the bottom, pulling up the back. That's all you need to think about. "30 more seconds. Right through. Come on. Stay with me. Focusing on the finish. That's it. And back it off. Right back to your easy, full recovery. We got 4 minutes or so here. We're going right to the top of the hour, but we want to make sure we've got this recovery in here before we move into the aerobic capacity portion of our workout today, where we'll bring in our perceived effort again. Right now, just focus on flushing those legs, settling your breathing, settling your heart rate a bit, getting in some hydration. We're going in about 2 minutes. So what we're going to be doing for this next set is 3 times 5 minutes at your 80 to 90% watts. This is the maximum amount of power you can hold at 90 to 100 RPM for 5 minutes. So we're looking for this hard effort. This is not your hour power. This is not your all-day pace. This is well above that. But to begin, we're going to find our cadence. We're going to find that gearing in that 80 to 90. Then we're going to cover our screens. We're going to begin from a standing start, and ride the first 5 minutes without looking at our numbers. And then the following 5 minutes, we're going to go based off what we were able to do in this first perceived effort. So this becomes very important in things like individual pursuit, but maybe more for our purposes, for being able to catch up with the group in front of us, or if we've fallen behind, to get back on the back. A slow progression up. So let's find that RPMs now between 90 and 100. Start bringing in your gear to your 80 to 90%. Let's do that right now. And then we will be stopping the pedals once you've found that. Once you've found that number at that RPMs, slow your legs down. All right, so let's come to a stop, or just a very slow, soft pedal. We're going to cover our screens, or just don't peek. And we are on for the first 5 minutes in 3, 2, 1. Let's bring up that leg speed. Finding that gear. If it does not feel like you're 80 to 90%, bring in a bit more gear. Some bikes will need that adjustment. We're just past 30 seconds in. So now we are settling in, trying to maintain this for the next 4.5 minutes. We're building your aerobic capacity here, your ability to sustain a high effort for a longer period of time. 5 minutes is a lot longer than 30 seconds. This is excellent training for all bike modalities and all types of events, even if you're a long endurance rider. A workout like this can take the place of a 3-hour ride out on the road and give you the same, if not more, benefit. We're 90 seconds in. Nice and steady. So you may have found yourself, when you're in a fondo in particular, where you're with a group, you maybe fell off the back. Either it was a little hard, or they hit a really steep hill, something that caused you to come off, and you have to decide if you want to make the effort to get on the back again. This is that effort. It's a 5-minute, really hard push to ease yourself back into that group so you can then benefit from the draft. In individual pursuit, in the big pro races, they're going one after the other and trying to make up the distance between themselves and the rider in front. So you have to be able to keep on at this for a small period of time, like 5 minutes. All right, keep moving through. Almost halfway. If you find you're bogging down a bit, maybe take a tiny bit of gear off and increase your cadence to achieve that same number. 90 seconds, or 2:30 in, halfway through. Come on. This is what you're made of. This is the hard work. What are you thinking? Are you counting? Are you telling yourself, you got this? Just another few pedal strokes. Come on, right through. Minute and a half to go. Steady, steady. Looking up the road. You're reeling them in. If you're lucky, they've spotted you trying to come on, and they're gonna be nice and ease their pace a bit so you can get there in the next minute. Right through. But they're not gonna wait if you slow down too. Pushing, pulling, right around. Thirty more seconds. Then we get 3 minutes easy. Let's uncover your screens, have a look, see where you're at. 10 seconds. This is your number for the next 2 sets. 3, 2, 1, back it off. So hopefully you were able to be in that 80 to 90% power range and keeping that cadence over 90. Whatever that number was that you averaged holding for that 5 minutes, and it's probably close to your end number. That's what we're going to be doing with our screens uncovered for the next 2 sets. So now we've eased onto the back of this really nice big group, catching our breath, hydrating. Feeling pretty good about that work we just did. You did it, 5 minutes. That's hard. Just over a minute and a half more. In our last minute, we'll start bringing in a little bit more gear. It's a warm one this morning. Okay, start bringing in some gear. We're gonna go back on in 10 seconds. So you know where to start, where you left off. In 3, 2, 1. 80 to 90%, 90 to 100 RPM. Settling in for 5 minutes. Now you can make the adjustments if you start overshooting a bit, especially at the beginning. And play around with your leg speed to gearing ratio. Find what feels smoothest for you. We're past 30 seconds in. Play around with your hand position. Maybe some time in the drops. That's 1 minute. I'll announce every minute, so if you want to stand on the minute, that's a strategy too. Thinking about what we're trying to achieve here. Visualize that energy moving from your in-breath through to oxygenating your blood, sending that to your big muscles, sending love to the muscles. They'll do what we tell them, but it's better if we give them some fuel. And coming up to the second minute. That's it. If you're standing up, settle back down, recapture your gear. When we're standing, we're putting our quads to work and our hip flexors, giving our hamstrings a tiny break. Halfway, 2.5 minutes. That's it. Maybe pick up your RPMs. If you're right down at 90, go up to 91 or 92. You can take the gear with you or adjust it back a bit, your choice. And that's 3 minutes. 2 to go. My legs are moving around 93 right now. And I'm in and around my 85 plus 5 or 6 watts. That's what I've got right now. I plan to test that out a bit in the third set. So hopefully you'll stay with me on that. 1.5 minutes to go. Nice and smooth. Look up, don't look down. You want to stay nice and open through your chest. If we're looking down, we've got some curving happening, turtling, as we like to call it. You want to be open to breathe. Come on, less than a minute. Even if you're in your drops, you can maintain that flat back and a light bend in the elbows. Come on, right through. Don't let it fall off now. We're right there. We've made up a couple 100 meters in that 5 minutes, which is a lot. Come on. We're almost there. Easing onto the back of that last rider. In 3, 2, 1. Right off. 3 minutes. Keep pedaling. Move those legs around. Try not to bring the gear below that first 80 to 110 watts, whatever your start is. And try and keep those legs moving closer to 100 RPM. We really want to flush this. Give ourselves our best 5 minutes to finish off this workout. Still 2.5 minutes to go. Couple deep breaths now. You've got your pedaling going. Sometimes that's all you need is a minute to ease up, catch your breath, re-energize, and you still have 2 more. Hopefully most of you have made it through the majority of a bottle during this hour. As the temperatures are going up outside and inside, we will have that need to drink, even that feeling of thirst, more so. Honor that need to thirst, need to drink. Find your opportunities like this. Sometimes when we're concentrating so hard, staying on a group or pushing our big watts, we can't really drink and do all that at the same time. You may not want to take your hands off the bars. 45 seconds. We're back on for number 3. Same as last time. I'd like you to try over the 5 minutes to bring up your watts a little bit and or your RPMs a little bit so we can negative split this one. So find that preferred cadence where you like to be right now, between 90 and 100. Start bringing in some gear. We're on in 15 seconds. Bringing in some gear. 10 seconds. And bring in the last of the gear. 3, 2, 1. 90 to 100 RPM. 80 to 90% of your watts. 5 minutes. If you're starting somewhere between 80 and 85, our goal is to finish between 85 and 90. If you're already at 85 to 90, we'll just try and capture a few more watts above that. We're 30 seconds in. Finding that steady pace. That's it. And that's our first minute. If you want to move your gear up a tiny bit, or not, your choice. Or if you want to stand on those minutes, again, it's a continuous self-talk. Relax upper body, open breathing, drawing your shoulders down your back will naturally do that. If you're up here, not so much. So just think about those shoulder blades either coming together gently between your back or drawing down towards your tailbone. Then you can focus on the power output and turning your circles. That's 2 minutes in. 3 to go. Have you got another RPM or 2? from 90 to 92, 92 to 94. That'll bring your watts up with it. Look at me, or look ahead if you're sideways. We're working together on this, even though it's an individual pursuit. More than halfway. No, we're 90 seconds in, sorry. Teaser. Okay, that's 3 minutes. 2 to go. Come on. Another lift here. Let's go past that 85%. Come on. Just over 90 seconds to go. Stay on it. Remember, we can now burn our last match. You have nothing to lose. Coming up to our last minute here. One minute to go. Let's go. Let's get on that group. One last time. Punch up that cadence. See where that takes your watts. Come on. I am not letting you quit now. We're riding right through. Picking it up. Through your 85%. Come on. Not long left. Let's just get that group. They're moving quite quickly. Let it go. Let it go. All that energy, flow it out. Come on. Up again. One last push. And we made it. Back it off. Wow, nice work. Keep those legs moving, please. We need to flush this. We're 2 minutes from the top of the hour. We need to stay here for another 4 or 5 minutes. So for those watching at home, keep spinning after the video ends. Nice high cadence. Bring that cadence up higher to what you were doing during the work. Nice easy gear. Back to that. 3 out of 10, 30%. Thinking about those efforts, how valuable they will be in the not too distant future when we're able to be out riding with our groups. So for this workout, we're going to call it a wrap.